Hey, church, I'm Clark. I'm Clark. Oh, right. Chris isn't here this week. He's on his sabbatical. So it's just going to be me here for our Sunday devotional. Sorry for that cringy introduction there. But we're going to be reading from Acts chapter 1, verses 6 through 14 today. That's because today is a Sunday known as Ascension Sunday. It's the last Sunday of Easter, as we remember Jesus ascending into heaven to rule and reign with the Father. It's where we get from the Nicene Creed where it says, ascended to the right hand. So we kind of tend to look back at what Jesus did for us. We also tend to kind of look forward to him coming again, but we kind of sometimes neglect to look at the fact that Jesus is in charge right now and he's ruling right now. And so that's what this day is all about. So let me kind of go through this passage with us real quick. Acts chapter 1, verses 6 through 14. So pause for a second, read that first before listen to what I have to say. All right. So first thing we got is that this part is kind of like a transition. I don't know if you know this from the Gospel of Luke into Acts. They're written by the same guy, by Luke. And so we get to verse 6, and the disciples are with Jesus, who has been raised from the dead. And they say, Lord, is this the time when you'll restore the kingdom of Israel? And man, I don't know if that hits with you, but just like asking questions of like, when, Lord, like when are we going to have to stop being in quarantine? When are you going to come and free us? When is this going to happen, Lord? I have a lot of when questions for the Lord, and his answer seems to always be the same. It's not for you to know, buddy. That's kind of what he says to him. Hey, not for you to know the times, not for you to know all those things. But here's what you do need to know. You are going to be my witnesses. And he tells his disciples, you're going to be my witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, to the ends of the earth. And I think the question we've got to ask ourselves is, okay, and it makes me think of, okay, what does it look like to be a witness in Central Topeka? Okay. What does it look like for us to witness to Jesus Christ here in the middle of Topeka? Maybe that's just the question you got to pray about or think about today. As you move on, you got verses 9. All of a sudden, Jesus is lifted up out of their sights, taken away. Whoa, what is going on? That's pretty wild. Do I know exactly what that looks like? I don't know. It reminds me a little bit of the Transfiguration, where it's just so crazy and unbelievable that it's like, I'm not sure exactly what that looked like, but I know it's incredible. And then the disciples are all staring up into heaven, right? And these angels appear and kind of say something that's kind of funny, I think. They're like, what are you looking at? Why are you looking up towards heaven? Jesus is going to come, who has been taken up into heaven. He'll come back in the same way that you saw him leave. Is that supposed to make them feel better? I don't know, but it reminds me a little bit of Luke, when the resurrection, when the women are at the tomb and the angel is there, and he says, why are you looking for the living among the dead? There seems to be, I don't know, maybe we need to think about this tension, this balance between worship, where we're looking up to Jesus and we're giving him praise, and work, where sometimes we tend to want to just like worship and feel good, and Jesus or these angels are kind of saying, okay, go get to work, go do what he's telling you to do. So that's maybe something we want to think about today too, is what is the work that Jesus is calling us to go get to right now. And then verses 12 through 14 here, we see what the disciples first do is they all get together, and it lists all of them there. They get together, they get not just them, women as well. They get together and they're constantly devoting themselves to prayer. I don't know about you, but I like talk like prayer is super important, and I know prayer is super important, but sometimes I don't prioritize it the way I should. I would rather be doing something or feel like I'm working or doing something like that instead of just praying. But we see here that that's not the way God works. He's calling them to go wait and pray. And that's something that's kind of in my heart right now too. We're doing a lot of waiting right now. There's a big part of me that just wants to, okay, let's get together, let's meet, let's start church, let's do this back up again, let's get going. But this is a time where it's kind of, okay, be patient, wait. I will come. Jesus is going to send his spirit. He is going to continue us being his witnesses in in central Topeka, but right now might be a waiting and praying time. So just think about, what does that look like to be praying? What does that look like to be his witnesses? What is it going to look like when we get back to work here soon in central Topeka? Let me close with kind of a little hymn from about 300 years ago, because I'm a hymn junkie, and this it's called "Jesus Shall Reign." I'm not going to sing, not to that comfort level yet, but this is what it says, and I think it captures what Ascension Sunday is all about. That Jesus shall reign wherever the sun does his successive journeys run. His kingdom spread from shore to shore, till moons shall wax and wane no more. His kingdom spread from shore to shore. I think that's what we are hoping for, and that's what we are looking forward to with our King Jesus. So happy Ascension Sunday. Have a good day. Love you all.